Good afternoon, Knicks Nation. I have to say, first of all, welcome to all in the chat. Um, Welcome to everybody that came today. But today, I'm gonna be, real. This was disappointing. This was a disappointing day today. Um, in my view, this was the most important trade deadline that the Knicks was dealing with for a long time. I always want to give, as you all know, I always want to give the coach, Tom Thibodeau, and the front office led by Leon Rose, I always want to give them the benefit of the doubt. And the reason I always want to give them the benefit of the doubt is because you and I, we do other jobs, right? We speculate, we do other jobs. We think about what we do on our job, right? And this is what they do. They do this every day. This is their job. They're getting paid to do this. They're getting checks written for them to, like in Leon's case and his crew, to create a team. And in Tom's case, to win with that team. Okay. But I have to say, first of all, why? Let's go back a little bit. Let's go back a little bit, Knicks Nation. Let's go back a little bit. Why did I say that this was the most important trade deadline in 20 years? The Knicks have a stable of young players. They now have 9 players on their roster that are 23 years old or under. That is 9 players out of a 15 player roster. That's 23 years old or under. I'm not making this up. This is a fact. Okay. When you, as a basketball fan, look at an NBA roster, and out of 15 players on that roster, you are looking at 9 players that are 23 years old or under. I don't think I'd be crazy to say that you have a young roster. Is that crazy? I mean, does that make sense to y'all? If you're looking at a roster of NBA players, and out of the 15 players you have on your roster, 9 of them are 23 years old or under. That would mean that you got about 70% of your roster that's young. Okay? So that means you got 6 players that are older than 23. Logically speaking. Also, wait a minute, we're not finished yet. So when Tom Thibodeau came to the Knicks, we were coming off yet another losing season. Okay? And I think I'm not alone if I said when Tom Thibodeau came to the Knicks, we were in year 1 of what could be classified by most people as a rebuild. This was not this year, it's last year. Okay, I'm just giving some more history before we go off here. Okay. So we were in year 1 of a rebuild. Okay. Again, let me just make sure I'm not crazy here, right? So you're in year 1 of a rebuild. Therefore, you don't mind losing during the course of a rebuild. All right? So so when that's the case, there's certain assumptions that any rational human being would make. One of the assumptions is we're going to lose a lot. And the reason we're going to lose a lot is because we're going to be playing a lot of young players that don't have a lot of NBA experience. They're going to be getting developed. And so we don't mind that because we're developing. It's year 1 of a rebuild. So then what happens? Tom Thibodeau takes, with the exception of R.J. Barrett, and at one point in the season before he was hurt, Mitchell Robinson, he puts those two young guys in the rotation. Those are the only two. And he has the veterans, that the 6 veterans or so that were on the team, he pushes them. And the Knicks started off slow. And last year, we remember they were really good defensively, but offensively they were limited because of the limitations of the personnel. For example, we knew Elfrid Payton could not shoot. And really, he wasn't a great playmaker. He was a defender first. We also know Reggie Bullock was a defender and a spot-up shooter. Don't ask him to dribble, but we knew that. So then come the trade deadline, and they go get Derrick Rose. And immediately, the offense goes 100% better, right? Now, Rose started off with the COVID last year, if y'all remember, and then Thibodeau started pushing Rose with Thibodeau starters minutes, which means 30-plus minutes a game. Elfrid Payton was out of the rotation, and the Knicks went on a run. I think we won 9 straight games. They won 9 straight games. Finished the season 4th in the East. Now, in a sense, that kind of messed us up. I mean, looking back, right? Because I know myself, I said, oh, shoot, we're supposed to be in year 1 of a rebuild, and we're in the 4th seed in the East. So we had to all recalibrate. Are we in a rebuild or not? Now, at the beginning of the season, and then this past summer, we know they went and got Evan Fournier, and they got Kemba Walker. And I understood at the time. See, I try not to be, and I admonish some of y'all in Knicks Nation, don't be a Monday morning quarterback. Don't go back and say what they should have done, right? Think about what it was at the time. At the time, coming off what we came off, they signed Julius Randle to a $117 million deal, which was very reasonable at the time. With that kind of deal, you could trade him. You could add a superstar, a $200 million Kawhi Leonard or that level player. You have room for that. And so it was a reasonable deal at the time. Also, we were looking at all the point guards available. And all of a sudden, they go and get Kemba Walker. Here's where I made one of my mistakes. I thought to myself, they wouldn't go get Kemba Walker if he was hurt. I mean, right? They wouldn't go get Kemba Walker if his knee was no good. And then at the press conference, they asked Kemba about the knee, and he said, no, the knee is fine. He said it was the Celtics that was sitting me as precaution. They didn't need to do that. The knee is fine. I believe what he said at the time. Give him some history. Okay? Then they let Bullock go, and I understood that because you know what? Bullock, to me, was never a starter. He was never a full-time starter. The Knicks had him there because of the defense. And so he wanted 3 full years guaranteed at $10 million per last year. And Leon said, no, I'll give you 2 with a team option on the 3rd. Dallas was willing to offer him the 3rd year guaranteed. So he went. I had no problem with that. The way Evan Fournier was playing on Team France this past summer, you can't tell me none of us thought he was going to come in and go off right away. So I'm looking at this and I'm saying, okay, we got an 18 point per game score in Evan Fournier in his prime. We got 19 point per game career score Kemba Walker. And we coming off the most improved player. Right? We coming up with the most improved player award who had several 40-point games. And I'm thinking, man, all we need now is a healthy Mitchell Robinson. We get a healthy Mitchell Robinson, we top 4 in the East. We pushing for the Eastern Conference Finals. That's what I was thinking. Y'all know, y'all see the videos. But instead, and look, all of us, I think everybody knew. I think everybody knew that Kemba Walker and Evan Fournier were lesser defensive players than Elfrid Payton and Reggie Bullock, but we all figured, I figured that their offense they would be plus. When you get your defensive, offensive plus minus, they would end up being plus because of how much offense they provide. But instead, we got, in the beginning of the season, a 10-point per game Kemba Walker, who was playing on one leg, and about a 10-point per game Evan Fournier. I think it was 13, who was even worse on defense than we thought. And then I found out that Mitchell Robinson couldn't work out the whole summer because of his foot. So he comes into training camp 20 pounds, 25 pounds overweight, and has got to run his way into shape. To add to that, Julius Randle all of a sudden became a mental case, became a prima donna, and was not producing what he did last year. Not even close. So now we still have all of these young players on our team. We still have 9 23 or under players. So I was thinking, okay, they're going to have to move some of these vets. Tom Thibodeau's going to play these vets. He don't know no other way. He going to play these vets. Okay? Then they went ahead and traded for Cam Reddish. Okay, I'm just giving you the history what's leading up to today. So they went ahead and traded for Cam Reddish. So I'm thinking, why would they do that? Why would they go ahead and trade? And they gave up a first-round pick. Now, this first-round pick they gave up was the one that it was a first-round pick that we got from one of the ones we got from Dallas. That the Don went ahead and not only traded the pick, got the guy we wanted in Quentin Grimes, but added another pick from Charlotte. Remember that? So now they used that Charlotte pick and they got Cam Reddish. So now, out of the Kristaps Porzingis trade, we ended up getting Quentin Grimes and Cam Reddish. That was smart. So I'm thinking to myself, well, shoot, man. Because there's no way that Tom Thibodeau was going to play. I knew he wasn't going to play no Cam Reddish because he showed up. And he basically said that when somebody asked him, he said, no, he's not in the rotation. We traded a guy that wasn't in the rotation. In order for us to have him play, somebody else has got to be taken out. So now I'm saying, well, shoot, man. They got to be making some deals at the trade deadline. They got to. And they got to move 2 guys. They got to move Kemba. He ain't playing worth the crap this year. And then another guy. And the logical guy to me was Burks, even though I would like to have seen Evan Fournier, but Burks' contract, $9.5 million. He's basically 2 years guaranteed. And he could help some teams that's going in the playoffs. So I was like, Burks and Kemba, that would open up room for Cam and maybe Deuce too. Which led us to today. So all week, we had heard nothing from the Knicks, right? We had heard nothing all week. We had heard nothing from the Knicks. We had heard no rumors. I mean, we heard a lot of rumors, but I wasn't paying attention to them, honestly. So this morning, though, got my attention because this morning, I think it was, I don't know if it was either Stein or Shams. I couldn't remember which one, but one of them cats, no, it wasn't neither of them. Some guy I never heard of, but he said that they were up. They started negotiating with the Lakers yesterday afternoon. And they went all night. They went until Thursday morning. Now that tells me nobody's in this game to waste time, y'all. This is a business. So they was all night trying to get this deal done. And of course, we all heard that the deal was supposed to be from the Knicks, Nerlens Noel going to Toronto, Alec Burks and Cam Reddish going to the Lakers. and then Goran Dragic coming to the Knicks. And some of y'all was getting trippy about Goran Dragic. It wasn't about him. I knew this was about an expiring contract. I think it was $18 million. That's what we want, because now that contract comes off the books and we got $18 million in cap space to go after what y'all talking about, Jalen Brunson, right? We got $18 million in cap space to go after him this summer. So I thought that was I didn't want to lose Cam, but I understood that deal. I thought that was a good deal. I understood it. Then all of a sudden, I'm hearing Woj announce that Goran Dragic going to the Spurs for Thaddeus Young. Now, Thaddeus Young is also expiring. So I kind of thought the Knicks would be involved with that. He's an expiring contract. $14 million, not 19, but still an expiring deal. Then we ain't hear nothing. Nothing. And now there's no deal. Now, I'm not somebody that likes to whine, man. I really don't. I got a personal peeve about whining about stuff. I don't like I'm saying, the Monday morning quarterback, that if one coulda, shoulda, woulda, blah, blah, blah. That's not me, man. So I was like, okay, I'm going to trust that these guys know what they're doing. Are they perfect? No. But I got to figure, and we're going to find out. Look, it's going to come out. In the next couple of days, we're going to hear about everything that happened behind the scenes that we don't know about right now. But I got to figure, I was concerned with the deal with Cam Reddish going to the Lakers. I'll tell you what my biggest concern was. I was surprised they were including him in the deal, but I got over that when I heard about the $19 million in expiring money coming to the Knicks, because that was the most important thing to me. But what bothered me, if y'all didn't hear it also, was that several people pointed out during the course of the day that the Knicks were looking for more draft capital. They were looking, that the reason that they had a problem with the deal is because they were looking for more draft. They were looking for more draft capital from Toronto and the Lakers, which I like it at that time. But I'm thinking to myself, maybe they pushing it for a little too much. You know, maybe they pushing for too much. And apparently something happened, because Toronto backed out the deal and made a deal with San Antonio. So that was the key I was concerned with. So I said, okay, they lost that deal. There must be something else out there. They must be work. But then I'm hearing all these other trades. We know about the one Indiana with the Kings, right? But then I'm saying KP is going to Washington for Dinwiddie. I'm seeing Boston sending that guard there out to Houston for Tice. I'm seeing moves being made left and right, and I ain't seen the Knicks involving none of them. Then I'm hearing Tom Thibodeau talking about, I like our team as it is. Right. The consultant from Minnesota, you know, the other dude that like to have sex in the office. So I'm like, so that leads up to where we are today. No deal done. What does this mean? Let's talk about what it means. It means that Cam Reddish and Deuce McBride and Jericho Sims are going to sit for the rest of the season. Unless somebody else gets hurt, they're going to sit. It means that when Kemba ain't playing on one leg, he's going to be starting. And when he's not starting, Alec Burks is going to start at point guard. It means that Tibbs is going to continue to think that Emmanuel Quickley is a point guard. And in trying to make him a point guard, he's going to be ruining him because he's really a shooting guard. One good thing that I got to say, one positive thing I got to say, and if some of y'all brought it up, I think we can all agree, Knicks Nation, no matter what you feel about these two individual players I'm going to mention, Kevin Knox and Frank Ntilikina, I think we can all agree that if they weren't going to play, the Knicks should have put them in the G League. I mean, I think we can agree with that, right? Like if they were going to not play, they would have at least got development by putting them in the G League. Right? And they didn't do that, ruining both of them. So at least right now, Jericho Sims and Deuce McBride are getting reps in the G League. I like that because that's what good development teams do. Yeah, that's what Toronto did with Pascal Siakam, who's now a max player, OG Anunoby. You know, they've been using that G League for a minute now and developing their team. So I like that. You know, at least they're getting reps in the G League. But look, I ain't gonna front. Knicks Nation, the basketball we're going to see for the rest of this year, it's going to be hard to watch. It's going to be hard to watch. Like, you know what happens after a trade deadline and a player knows he ain't going nowhere? That he was speculated to go somewhere and he's not going? They get real smug, man. I was watching Kemba Walker after the shoot around today. He looked real smug. Real smug. And I'm like, so what's the next move? What's the next move, y'all? This is what I think. They're going to play this year out. By playing the year out with the veterans they have, they're not openly tanking. Because when you really tanking, you playing your young players and your G League players. They playing veterans. But we're going to get our butts spanked night after night. Unless some miracle happens. Julius Randle turns into most improved player Julius Randle. You know, we're going to get spanked. And so we're going to lose a lot of games and we're going to be in the lottery. The next move I see coming, y'all ready? The next move the Knicks are going to make is they're going to have a cleaning house over the summer. They're going to clean house. That's what you're going to see. You're going to see them clean house. I think this summer, every veteran's on the market. With the exception of possibly Derrick Rose, and I mean possibly because he's going to be in the last year of his deal, and possibly Taj Gibson because his money's not guaranteed. But I wouldn't even put it past Leon to get rid of them. I want to tell you something. They're gonna lose a lot of games, and I got to start looking now. I got to start looking real close at who's coming out this year. I got to start putting my scouting hat on and looking at the top players because I think they're going to clean house this summer. I think Julius Randle, listen, unless Randle starts averaging 30 and 10, 15 and stop turning the ball over and we go on a winning streak, he's getting traded this summer. Now, I don't know what they're going to trade him for because you know what? But then again, look at it this way. I don't think Jeremy Grant got traded today. I don't think he did, right? That'd be it, right? I don't think Jeremy Grant got traded today. I could see him going for Jeremy Grant, but they are going to trade all of these guys. Leon's going to clean house this summer. That's what I think. They not, because look. Ain't no big time free agents coming here. For what? For what? Look what happened today. You got Simmons. Now you got Simmons, Durant, and Kyrie. They're upgraded. They're upgraded because Simmons brings defense. Philly, I don't like Philly as much as I did before now. Harden been playing with a lot of good players, man, and he ain't won jack. And Joel Embiid do not hold his tongue for nobody. He don't care what your status is. So I see trouble brewing in Philly. But they upgraded though, right? So they're going to clean house this summer. I think that's what's going to happen. They're going to clean house. They're going to get rid of everybody. They're going to get a lottery pick. They're not going to make the mistake they made in year one of getting a Bullock re-signing Bullock and re-signing Alfred Payton, and they're not gonna make that mistake this summer. Tibbs is gonna be upset. I don't know what Tibbs is gonna do. He might quit. He might stay and just play it out. I don't know what he's gonna do. But I'm gonna tell you what, they're gonna build around R.J. Barrett, Mitchell Robinson, and Quentin Grimes at least. And then you're still gonna have Deuce McBride. You still gonna have Sims, right? And Obi. And you're gonna see them get rid of all these veterans. That's what's gonna happen this summer. And you know why I say that? Let's go back. From this point, I think the Knicks are getting ready to get their butt handed to them every night. I can't see how all of a sudden they're gonna get better. From this point. You can't say anymore they need to gel. I was giving Tibbs that benefit. I said, look, give them 20 games, 30 games, let's see what they do. But you can't say that no more. Look, man, we getting ready to only have like 30 games left. And you think this road trip was hard? They got a harder one coming in March. Look at the schedule. They got a harder road schedule than this one that we just saw them get spanked every night. And Lord, I'm afraid to look at this game tonight. I'm afraid to look at it. I'm going to look at it as much as I can, but don't be surprised if I turn that mess off at him, because this is going to get ugly, man. This is going to get ugly. So, yeah. And I want to tell you this right off. Quickly's going to struggle this whole season until he decides in his mind, I'm going to stop trying to be the point guard playmaker, and I'm going to be who I am. I'm going to be the shooter. And even with all that, I don't want y'all to think I'm hating on Quickly. I don't want them to trade Quickly. I just want Quickly to be who he is, which means he got to play next to a point guard. When he played against Houston, that was his best game. When he played next to Deuce against Houston, that was his best game. And then the one before that, when he played against Golden State, we lost, but Deuce got all that time, and they played together. He needs a point guard next to him. So when D Rose comes back, you might see a better Quickly. But even if you don't, I'm not going to give up on Quickly. I just want him to be who he is. I don't want him to be Lou Williams. I want him to be Lou Williams or Jamal Crawford. I don't want him trying to be, a point guard. He's not a point guard. So let's see what happens, man. And also, one other thing. They're going to make a serious push for Jalen Brunson this summer. The Knicks are going to make a serious push for Jalen Brunson this summer. They're going to do that. Now, I don't know if they're going to be successful, but something tells me, listen to this carefully now. They just traded KP's money off their books, and they brought in Davis Bertans, and who's getting paid $80 million, and they brought in Dinwiddie, who's getting paid $42 million. Now look at this now. Luka Doncic, who you know is a supermax dude. Dinwiddie, who's $40 million. And now you got Bertans, who's going to be coming off the bench for $80 million. Because ain't nobody stupid enough to take them contracts unless they expire. So I can't see how they would all of a sudden add to that and pay Jalen Brunson the max. So the Knicks are going to push for Jalen Brunson. That's why I'm saying they're going to clean out all of these dudes to try to get Jalen Brunson. And I hear that. I have no problem with that. Okay, I have no problem with that. Because I think, I believe Jalen Brunson's a $64 million player. I think he's a 4-year, $64 million. But because of the Knicks' need and because of how well he's playing in Dallas this year, he's going to get his $80 million. But I tell you what, I'd rather pay him 4 years, $80 million than trade for Fox and pay him 4 years, 5 years, $163. I'd rather do that. Okay, so I'm going to be very cool at this point. I know we're going to pile up some losses. But I can see hope I can see light at the end of the tunnel. And the reason I say it, because like I said, Leon's not going to make a stupid deal just to get a deal done. That's what people have done in the past. Steve Mills did it. D'Antoni and Walsh did it. They went and signed Amari Stoudemire when he couldn't even get his knees insured just to get a deal done. Leon ain't going to do that. So I trust that. If he couldn't get a good deal, forget it. We'll just wait till the summer. But I'm thinking he's going to clean this house out because we're getting ready to lose a lot of games, y'all. And you know what? In a way, that's good for us. You know why? Because not only we get in the lottery, it shows us who we really are. Like, we got fooled last year. Top 4 in the East, we got fooled. We got fooled. We was in second year of a rebuild. We didn't act like that no more. Right? So now, this trying to win now crap kind of set us back a second. Right? But it's only temporary. I'm saying, I see the Don cleaning house this summer. They're going to trade everybody. They're going to trade everybody. Okay, they're going to trade everybody. Like I said, the only possibles are D Rose and Taj, but I wouldn't even take them off. I'm telling you, the Don ain't going to take them off the table either. So we're going to see what happens. We're going to see what happens. Okay? Yes, right, Castle King. We caught the vapors. That's exactly what happened. We caught the vapors. We caught the vapors. They're no joke. I don't know if they're going to draft a point guard. I don't know because remember, don't forget, we still got Joko Bidas. Don't forget. Joko Bidas is going to be on the roster next year, but I don't know if he's going to get any time. That's why I'm surprised y'all asking for a point guard to be drafted. You think he's going to play? Come on, man. Come on. You know better than that, bro. He ain't playing. Come on now. Nah. Nobody we drafted is playing. They got to be a superstar. I mean, they got to be Luka Doncic. And I don't see that in this draft. You know, come on now. They're not those that wasn't no NBA player. That's why. Y'all's tripping on him. I told you from the beginning he wasn't an NBA player. Just like some people tripping on the Ball brother. What's the middle one? Thinking he's supposed to be all that. He's not an NBA player. That's why he's not playing. That's why Luka Vildoza is back in Europe. He's not an NBA player. Okay. But we gotta they're not gonna draft. Look, y'all need to see. This is how I got set up for this fall today. You think I don't care what, unless you have a Luka Doncic, John Morant, Trae Young level player coming out. And I'm gonna look at these guys now. I'm gonna have to look at them because that's what we're gonna be doing. We're gonna be in the lottery this year. So I'm gonna have to look and see what we got. But unless you got somebody on that level coming out this year and they coming under Tom Thibodeau, you think you're gonna set yourself up for some big disappointment if you think they're gonna play. Especially, wait, do you think really he's gonna play a point guard that's a rookie? Are you crazy? Come on now. Come on. He ain't playing no rookie point guard. You gotta be kidding me, man. Come on now. That ain't happening. Y'all should learn, man. Y'all should learn. Come on, baby. I don't care who is Ty, whatever his name is. I don't care who he is. He's sitting if he's on Tibbs' team. At the point guard spot, can you imagine? He's the point guard, right? He's gonna play in the NBA. He makes a turnover. You know Tom Thibodeau gonna be pulling his little bit of hair that he got left out and take that kid out, and you ain't gonna see him again for a minute. Come on now. Come on. Well, let me bring one more thing to y'all, though. All right. I'm thinking Leon's going to clean house this summer. He's going to clean house. All these vets are going to be gone. And it's going to be easier to sell them, too, because all of them are really like D-Rose, Nerlens Noel, Alec Burks. Next year, they're expiring. They were all, they 2-year deals with a 3rd-year team option. Fournier is a 3-year deal with a 4th-year team option. It's going to be easier to trade all of them. It's going to be easier to trade all of them. So they're going to clean house next year. We're going to be in the lottery. What we got? This is 2022. I think we just have our own 1st-round pick, right? This year? I think we have our own. I don't think we have somebody else. I think the Dallas pick is next year. right? The Dallas pick next year. So we got our picks, and I know we got some, I don't know how many second rounders. We got second rounders too. So they're going to try to get a good player. We're going to be in the lottery. We're going to be in the top 10. Y'all know that, right? We're going to be in the top 10. So get used to that. We ain't going nowhere. Like I said, if the Knicks all of a sudden turn it around, Andrew said the Knicks traded Tiz for Kenny Atkinson. Oh, y'all so crazy, man. Oh, y'all crazy. Y'all are so crazy, man. Oh, shoot. I wish they could do that. I wish they could, but they didn't have it, y'all. Come on, don't get set up. And some of y'all keep bringing up Mark Jackson. Let me just make this out once and for all for y'all. Mark Jackson, how many of y'all remember Mahmoud Abdul Rauf? Y'all remember him? His name used to be Chris Jackson, came out of LSU. One of the greatest, I would say easily, top 5 greatest shooters in the history of the NBA. And he got blackballed because he wouldn't salute the flag. Now, nobody said they weren't going to blackball him, but they did. It was unofficial, but he got blackballed because he wouldn't salute the flag. Became a Muslim and wouldn't salute the flag. And it's blackball like that when it's not official. Like when they blackball Latrell Sprewell, you kind of saw that coming. I mean, he tried to stroke PJ Carlesimo. And from the intelligence that I got, Carlesimo had it coming. So I don't even feel sorry for the Clippers, but they tried to blackball Sprewell, and that lasted like a year and a half. Okay. But they blackballed Mahmoud Abdul Rauf. They blackballed him. They didn't make it official, but they did. Sort of like the football version, Colin Kaepernick, right? What he do? Kneel, and he ain't been playing since. He ain't do nothing wrong. Nobody, people say, oh yeah, we'll hire him, but nobody has. So that's Mark Jackson. And let me tell you why Mark Jackson is not coming back to the NBA, but he has a way to come back, but he's not going to take it. And I don't blame him either. He was a good coach. He refuses to take an assistant coaching job. Y'all hear what I said? He refuses to take an assistant coaching job. If he was to take an assistant coaching job and be on the sideline as an assistant, he would have a good chance of being in the NBA. And he hasn't. He hasn't. And that's the problem. Yeah, so Mark Band, man, they haven't really said anything, but I think you're right. Who is that? Ruggs, 89, New York? I think Ruggs is right. He spoke against the rainbow, and that was the end of him. He spoke against the rainbow. Not only that, he won't take the assistant coaching job nowhere. I mean, most of these coaches, when they get almost every coach in the NBA, except Eric Spoelstra and Pop, those are the only 2 coaches that I can recall that's never got fired. Everybody else has gotten fired. It's like 98% chance every NBA coach at some point is going to get fired. So that happened to Mark Jackson, but he would not. But all of them that want to come back, they become assistant coaches. Somewhere they become assistant coaches. You find them on somebody's sideline. Mark Jackson ain't doing that, and so I don't think you're ever going to see Mark Jackson coaching in the NBA. I don't think you're going to see that. But Kenny Atkinson, I wouldn't mind him. Oh, Quinn Snyder never been fired? Okay, my bad. I didn't know that. You might be right about that, House. But like I said, my point is, you could count on one hand, let's put it that way, the number of coaches who have never been fired. Right? Am I right or what? Is that correct? You can count on one hand. Everybody gets fired. That's the name of it. Everybody at some point gets fired. That's what happens. Okay, I mean, y'all know that, right? So don't be surprised that somebody get fired. They all get fired. Lenny Wilkins got fired. Larry Brown got fired. Every coach gets fired at some point. Okay? Yeah. That's it, man. He spoke against the rainbow. And, quite frankly, I have no problem with that. But that's, you can't do that. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. So it happens, man. So Mark ain't taking no part-time job because of his pride. And I don't blame him. He don't need to be taking nobody's, assistant coach. He's a head coach, man. But yeah, Spoelstra, Pop. Somebody mentioned the coach in Utah, and that's correct. The coach in Utah never got fired. The guy that looked like the mad scientist. What's his name? He looked like the mad scientist. Somebody said it. I forgot his name. He looked, he's a smart Quinn Snyder. He looked like the mad scientist, that dude. He always looked crazy, but he knows his basketball, man. No, I think Jerry Sloan got fired too. I think he was in Chicago. He got fired. I know he used to play for the Bulls, and I think he coached there and got fired. I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, but remember him and Norm Van Leer? They used to play together in the 70s. They were both tough as nails, tough dudes. And he coached like he played. But anyway, like I said, you could count on one hand the number of coaches in the history of the NBA that did not get fired. Most coaches get fired. 30 teams, 25 coaches going to get fired. That's going to happen. That's going to happen. So that doesn't surprise me. But so Tibbs, I think one good thing about it, I was going to say is, hey, listen, if he makes it through next year, which I think he will, and he gets fired after next year, or he quits, at least we had a coach 3 years. Last time we had a coach 3 years, I think it was D'Antoni. I don't even think our boy Woodson lasted 3 years, 3 full seasons, right? And Woodson was a good coach, right? I think Woodson was a good coach, and he got fired. You see what I'm saying? So, yeah. So anyway, I'm seeing a sweep of the house between draft night and the free agency. I'm seeing a clean sweep of the house. I'm seeing them go young, especially if we're in the lottery. They're going to get a play. They're going to get a good player in the lottery. And Tibbs is going to take all of these guys we got now and make those are going to be his new veterans, right? And I think we're going to be pretty happy with that because you're going to see Grimes. You're going to see Mitch Robb. You're going to see RJ. You're going to see Obi. Those guys are going to get all the minutes next year because all these old cats are going to be shipped out. I mean, Leon's, that's why I really think, somebody asked me today, they said, if he don't make any moves today, is he still the Don? And I said, he's the Don to me regardless, based on what he's already done, based on the chess moves he's made already. Nothing that he could do now is going to change my mind unless he just totally messes up. I think he's scheming. And he's saying, okay, Mr. Thibodeau, I'm going to let you have your veterans. Go ahead, we're going to let you do that. No, you're good. Until, we win, what we got? How many wins we got? 24? If we win 10 more games this year, we're going to be lucky. If we win 10 more games this year, we're going to be lucky to win 10 more. You're going to see a lot of, comebacks from 20 down, 25 down, 15 down, trying to make up, all of that, That's what you're going to see, y'all. We're going to be in the lottery. Probably top 10. And you're going to see them clean house this summer. That's it. You're going to get Joko Bidas in here. And he's going to sit in the spot that Deuce is in right now. Y'all know I'm telling the truth. He's going to sit in that spot. Deuce said, hey, there go my chair right there. You can have that one. That's what's going to happen. And we're going to go from there. That's what's going to happen. So, it's disappointing. This look is very disappointing. It's wasting a year of some of these guys' careers. To me, it's wasting a year of their career. It's wasting Cam's time and talent, to me. But Joe Kubitis is probably gonna play in the G League. Yeah, he is. He gonna, like I said, you're gonna take Deuce's situation and you're gonna put Joe Kubitis in there, especially if Tom Thibodeau's coaching. Look, y'all do realize Tom Thibodeau's not big on European players. You'll realize that, right? He's not real big on European players. He's playing Fournier now because he called his boy Steve Clifford, and Steve Clifford vouched for him. But He don't trust European players. Tom Thibodeau likes players that are tough. And I think we could all understand, for the most part, European players are a little bit more finessey, right? They're not like that rough, tough, tumble type stuff, right? Yeah, so he's not really into the European players. So you don't expect Joko Bodice to come over here and all of a sudden play. He's not doing that. He's not doing that. Yeah, but I'm going to tell y'all, let's buckle up. Unless Grimes is not playing, Cam's not going to play. Except garbage time. Unless D Rose and Burks get hurt, you're not going to see nothing about McBride except in the D League dropping 40. We probably will never see Jericho Sims again unless both Taj and Noel are hurt. That's the real. Okay, that's the real. So, but I'm telling you, I think Leon Rose gonna clean house this summer. He that's it. He's gonna let them play this out. They're gonna be lottery with all these veterans. They're gonna be lottery, and he's gonna get rid of all of them. Yeah, don't worry about it, Dev. You know, we gonna. Hey, look, man. If you've been a Knicks fan for 20 years or more, not even 20 years. If you go back 10 years, you've seen enough misery, man. Come on. I would say this. At least we're not the Sacramento Kings. They just traded Halliburton. Dang, God. They just traded Halliburton. I don't care if Sabonis was an all-star. You don't trade Tyrese Halliburton. Yeah, so we're gonna be all right. Don't jump off the bridge, y'all. Don't jump off the building. You're gonna have to deal with this. Let's start looking at some of this college talent because we're gonna be eligible to get some, right? Let's start looking at this college talent. Don't jump, Joe. Don't jump, Brother Curry. Don't do it, man. Don't do it, Gravy. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. But let's start looking at this college talent. We're going to be top 10. Let's see what we can get. But really, though, I don't think they're going to pick a point guard in the draft because, Tibbs ain't playing him. And you got Alon, he still thinks IQ's a point guard. He's going to have Deuce, and he's going to have Jekyll Bardis. We're not picking a point guard. I'm telling you. Now, the only exception is if we could get Jalen Brunson, which is, I think, is at least 50-50. It's at least 50-50 we get Jalen Brunson. At least 50-50. Maybe a little better than that because, like I said, they just got Dinwiddie. Okay? So it's at least 50-50, maybe even, I'd say maybe 60-40. We get Jalen Brunson. There's your point guard. You may like him or don't like him. I prefer Deuce, but I have no problem with Jalen Brunson. Because I'm not expecting a superstar. We're not getting Ja Morant, right? So I'll take Jalen. Whatever. He's not going to hurt us. I'll take him. He's better than what we got starting right now. Shoot, at least he's a real point guard. So I'll take him. But what else would y'all think? Tell me now. We drafted. What are we going to get? A wing player? A shooting guard? Power forward? What's out there? What y'all think? That's not a point guard. Yes, we could buy him out. We could buy him out. We have him on the books, for next year. We could buy him out. So somebody, Don, you say shooting guard? No, AB, aside from a point guard, we're not getting a point guard. I'm going to guarantee you we're not getting a point guard because if we get Jalen Brunson and we already got Joko Bardis and we getting Deuce, we're not getting a point guard. That's it. We're not getting a point guard. So you got to tell me out of the other four positions what y'all want. What y'all think we're going to get? Center, power forward, a wing? Okay. So let's look. We're going to look. Our assignment, y'all ready? Our homework is to look up these players, based on, let's say, we're going to be in the lottery. So let's say top 15, right? Right? So we guaranteed to be in the top 15. No, I still think he's a Don. This today doesn't stop me from thinking he's a Don. I think listen, man. The Bible says Be wise as a serpent and harmless as a dove. Many people don't think about what that means. A snake, when you threaten it, it will back up in a retreat position. But if you get too close, it will kill you. I think, like in The Godfather, Michael Corleone moved the whole family to Nevada. Father, the Don, was shot, and everybody was thinking, oh, the Corleone family is done. Matter of fact, remember Mo Green said, y'all ain't got that kind of power anymore. You're done. Until that one day came, that Saturday, when he killed all the heads of the 5 families and took care of all family business. They thought he was done. He backed up into the corner. Then all of a sudden, he struck. I think Leon's doing the same thing. He gonna let Tom have his vets. He gonna let them run this thing out. And they're gonna be lottery. Tom can't say nothing about it when they lottery. Look at Tom's career record. He's a winning career coach. Like, I think his career record's like 58%, 59%. Well, that's gonna get ruined now. That's gonna get ruined. So Tom won't be able to say nothing. He won't be able to say nothing. And what he's going to be bugging to do, he's going to be asking Leon, sell all these kids, sell the lottery pick, and let's get some vets. And Leon going to say, no, sir. No, sir. We starting over. We building it the right way. So I'm not worried about it. He's still the Don to me. Just one day don't lose somebody's brains, his intelligence, his skill. He's going to do what he does. I'm not worried about him. I really am not. I'm not worried, and I'm not worried about Tibbs either. He's going to do what he do. So at least we know what's going to happen now, right? They're going to win the lottery. He's going to come back. He's going to end up starting Derrick Rose at the point guard. He's going to take Kemba out the rotation again and start Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose is going to get hurt again because he's 33 years old. Can you imagine? You're dependent on a 33-year-old point guard past his prime to save your season. How does that sound? I don't care how good. Listen, put aside how good Derrick Rose is. You're dependent on a 33-year-old point guard past his prime to save your season. Come on, man. No, that ain't gonna work. He's gonna get hurt again. Because you can't do that. But Tom don't care. He's gonna run that boy 33 minutes a game. That's what he's gonna do. So, is what it is. Is what it is. I wish he did play Reddish 30 minutes a game. Y'all ain't gonna see Reddish. Unless Quentin Grimes get hurt, you ain't gonna see Reddish. You ain't gonna see him. Except garbage time. That's it. That's how this is gonna go. And he's gonna play like that all the way through. All the way through. Because, like I said, look at the schedule. You look at the Knicks schedule, man. Look at their schedule. They got the March schedule is the toughest. They were talking about this being the second. The March schedule's got to be the toughest in the league. When they go, okay, March 2nd, they're at Philadelphia. March 4th, they're at Phoenix. March 6th, they're in LA at the Clippers. March 7th, they're at the Kings. March 9th, they're at Dallas. March 11th, they're at Memphis. March 13th, they're at Brooklyn. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 7 straight games on the road. Then they're gonna play at Portland's coming to town, Washington's coming to town, Utah's coming to town, Atlanta's coming to town. Everybody's gonna be vying for a playoff spot. We about to get our butts skinned. That's what's gonna happen. That's what's gonna happen. But then we're gonna be a lottery team. Okay, fine. Then we're gonna see what happens. We're gonna see what happens at that point. Okay. Yeah, they can ready get spanked. But hey, then change is gonna be made. Leon's not gonna sit back and just roll with this. I'm gonna tell you right now, he's gonna do something. And next year, all of these contracts gonna be easier to move. Because like I said, the longest one is Fournier. That's a 3-year deal. And so after this year, that's going to be a 2-year deal. He's going to be able to trade these kind of. The rest of them is 1-year deal. And then I think he's going to move Julius Randle. He's going to get what he can for Julius Randle. Okay? So we're going to see what happens, man. Sincere the genius. You know what? That might happen. But that would be wild, wouldn't it? Woo, Woo! He said, watch us win 5 of the 7. He said, watch it. I ain't going to laugh at you because it could happen. You never know. Like I said, anything can happen. All of a sudden, Julius Randle gets happy he didn't get traded, and all of a sudden, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know how that would happen. RJ averages 35. I don't know. But it's going to take a miracle. I think we can all agree. It would be a miracle, wouldn't it? Yeah, they're going to re-sign Mitchell Robinson. He's a cornerstone. They're going to re-sign him. I think they're waiting to see what he gets on the open market. They can offer him a 5th year. He's in the same exact position Jalen Brunson's in. He's going to be unrestricted free agent, but the team he's on could offer him a 5th year. Like Dallas can offer Jalen a 5th year. They could offer him $100 million. They could offer him $100 million, but I don't think they will because they just traded for Dinwiddie. So I think Jalen Brunson sees the writing on the wall. I think he's going to play this year out. I want to see if he starts. It's going to be interesting. Who you think is going to start, Jalen Brunson or Spencer Dinwiddie? That's going to tell us a lot. Dallas is going to be very interesting to see. We're going to see what happens. Who starts, Jalen Brunson or Spencer Dinwiddie? I don't know. We're going to see. That's going to tell us a lot. I think it's at least 50-50, maybe 60-40. Jalen Brunson ends up a Knick. And that's another reason I think they're going to clean house because they're going to clear some cap space. They're going to get some dead contracts and clear some cap space. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised either way if Spencer came off the bench or if Jalen came off the bench. Because remember, starting this year, Jalen Brunson was coming off the bench. It was Tim Hardaway that was playing beside Luka. And then Tim Hardaway's out for the season now. So that's why that changed. But who knows? They might go 3 guards. They might. They got now they're starting Bullock. They're actually starting Bullock right now. So, yeah. So, anyway, we're going to see what happens, man. I want to see. Let me see. What's Dallas doing right now? They are, in their last 10 games, they are, what are they? In Dallas' last 10 games, right now, they are 5th in the West, and they're 6-4. They're playing pretty good ball, man. They're playing pretty good ball right now. So we'll see what happens. But this summer is going to be very interesting, and this draft night is going to be very interesting. We're going to see what happens. This is going to be very interesting, man. We're going to see what happens. But don't fret. It's a very disappointing day. I ain't going to put no sugarcoat on it. This is a very, very disappointing day. There's no doubt. But at the same time, I'm not dumping all over Leon. I got to believe this. To me, he just has proven to me he's too smart. I know he's planning on the next move. And for him to be pushing for more draft capital to take on the contract of Gordon Dragic and not getting it, yeah, I think I'm not going to worry about him too much. I think he's going to make some moves. We're just going to have to, grin and bear it, man. We're going to have to grin and bear it, this time. Yeah. It's rough. I ain't going to front. This is a hard day, man. It really is. It ain't no joke. But on we go. On we go, man. On we go. Leon gonna let Tom play his vets till they knees are to the bone and whatever. And we're gonna lose a bunch of games and then come the lottery. The next exciting thing is the draft lottery. I'm gonna tell you what, it's gonna be hard to recap these games going forward. I'm gonna tell you it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard watching them get their heads handed to them night after night. Oh God, it's gonna be hard. This is reminding me, what year was that they won 17 games? It was the Fizdale first year, right? It was Fizdale first year, second year. This is gonna be like that. This is gonna be hard. This is gonna be difficult to do, man. Oh God. This is gonna be hard. So yeah, that's gonna be difficult. This is gonna be hard, man. So let's see what happens. Yeah, you ain't joking, Abraham. Andrew, you on the road today. You are on a roll today. I'm a Knicks fan, so I'm going to watch this crap, man. I'm going to watch it. I'm gonna have to. I can't. I ain't gonna front and say I ain't gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it. I may turn it off early when they down 25 and I know it's over. But whatever. This is where we at. And listen, I was glad we had a chance to come together today and commiserate as Knicks Nation. All of us being disappointed in what happened today, or should I say, what didn't happen today. Right? Is what it is. Yeah, I'm gonna watch him. So we're gonna still watch him. And let's start looking at these draft kids. Let's look at these kids in college and see what they got. Start looking at their profile, looking at their pluses and minuses, looking at what they could do. I'm looking at any position except point guard. I'm really not thinking they're going to get a point guard because they're really going. I think they're really going to go all in for Jalen Brunson, and they're going to develop Deuce McBride and Jacob Bidas, and they still got Quick. So I don't think they really go all in on the point guard except for those 4 guys. So we'll see what happens, but yeah, let's just see what else is out there. There might be a ferocious rebounder out there, top-notch defender. There might be somebody out there, a wing. Somebody mentioned a wing. Might be another wing out there. Can't have too many wings. So, yeah, I'm gonna watch and I'm gonna do the replay every day. I'm gonna do the recap and let's see. It's gonna be hard. I ain't gonna front. It's gonna be hard, but this is our squad. We got our problem children. We got our problem children. So we're going to do what we do. We're going to do what we do. They might, Reggie Phillip asked, will they package the lottery pick in any trade after the season? They might. Everything is on the table. The only thing that I'm pretty sure they're going to do is get rid of these veterans in the summer. They're going to do that. They're going to get rid of the veterans. But other than that, anything's on the table. They may package the pick, with Julius and go get something else. They might do that. Yeah, some of y'all are young, man. I'm 61, man. So I've been waiting a long time. I've been waiting a long time for the Knicks to get competent, man. So I'm gonna stick it out, man. Stick it out. Stop whining, stick it up. That's what we gotta do. That's what we gotta do. Tough, but we in New York, right? You know that song what's that song? We still New York, right? We still New York. We still New York. We still New York. What they say next year in Jerusalem, we say next year in MSG. We still New York. Next year in the playoff, we still New York. Yeah, I was there when Walt Frazier was playing. He was my favorite player. In the Knicks when Clyde was there. Yeah. You're right. Oh Lord. Anyway, is what it is. Y'all, thanks again for coming by today. I appreciate all y'all subscribers. Y'all really fun, man. It's really cool looking at your comments and the basketball intelligence a lot of y'all have, even some of y'all crazy ones. It's all good, man. I really am happy that I started the channel and it's gotten the way it's gotten. I'm very happy about that. So whatever, man. We just gonna keep grinding, right? We're gonna keep grinding. We still in New York, we're gonna keep grinding. And yeah, they're gonna get spanked around, they're gonna get smacked around. They're gonna smacked around rest of this season. But anything's possible. They could make a trade for the pick. They can trade their pick. They could trade down. You know how Leon roll. We don't know what he's going to do. We'll see. You know what? I think Alec Burks is possibly the worst inbound passer in the NBA. And I don't know when they're going to learn to stop putting him in that position. I'd rather have Mitchell Robinson. I'd rather have turnover Julius Randle taking the ball out of bounds. Don't get me started, Alex. This guy, oh my gosh. Oh. I'm always scared when he takes the ball out, especially in the close game. Oh my gosh. All right, brother. No problem. Y'all have a nice evening. Shalom, shalom.